Good afternoon, guys and girls. Welcome back to the workshop. Today we're working on a garden tractor accessory. I have a John Deere garden tractor. I actually have taken the cutting deck off. I've gotten my tractor ready for winter service with the snowplow, and I need a place to store the mower deck. Most of you guys know that have garden tractors, these mower decks can run from 48 to 72 inches wide. They're very, very heavy, some of them, and they are just an absolute pain in the butt to store. Mine included. Mine is only a 48-inch cutting deck, but it is a 3-blade cutting deck. It has the an actual gearbox because it's PTO driven, and it is very heavy and awkward to to drag around. If you got it on the floor, it's big, bulky, it's heavy. It won't stay standing up on end itself because it's got the wheel, so it constantly wants to fall over. It's just a plain old hazard. Now, some of the guys are purchasing what they call deck dollies. They're customized hand carts, and you can attach your cutting deck to it and you can roll that around. That's a lot better option. It's still large and heavy and it's costly. Some of the other guys are doing what I'm planning on doing, and that is to make 2 axles with 4 tires that will go through this. This is actually the anti-scalp wheel bracket, and you'll slide the axle through there with 1 tire on each end of the axle, and you can just roll around your cutting deck and stick it in a corner and forget about it till spring. Now, that being said, what do you need to do this? Well, some of the guys are using EMT 3/4. I think that's a good option, but for me, I think that's kind of flimsy. It's not very thick walled, so I had some 3/4 gas pipe in stock, and I decided that I would go ahead and I actually have to cut it down or turn it down a little bit. It's a little bit too thick, so I'm going to turn it down on the lathe, and then I'm going to use some 5/8 cold rolled steel as the actual axle, and that's 5/8 is the actual inside diameter of this. These have bearings in them already, so if you just run that through there, and whether you want to put a thread and a nut, or if you want to just put a cotter pin on it, or whatever you want to do, that's your call. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to take this, cut it down into 2 3-inch sections. I'm going to turn it to I believe that's 3/4. So it slides through there, and then I'm going to go ahead and make 2 bushings to fit inside this. This is a little bit large, so I'm going to throw a couple bushings in there on the ends, and so the bushings will be for my 5/8 axle, and I have some 5/8 cold rolled in stock. This is actually, honestly, not the way I was going to build it if I was ordering. I would probably just get a piece of 3/4-inch cold rolled, and then go ahead and turn the 2 outside sections down to 5/8 and be done with it. But since I have this, I don't feel like waiting a couple days to order the 5/8 cold rolled. This is the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to get to the lathe, and I'm going to turn down the stock, and then we're going to cut it. I'm going to bring you back and show you the pieces and how I made out with it. Hey guys, so at this part of our setup, we're at the Bridgeport. I've used my edge finder to find the center of this V block, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our shaft in. We're going to clamp our shaft in here, and we're going to drill the holes for these retaining clips for the axle. I I put the shaft, I put the V block in this way, but I think I'm going to use the deeper V. Yeah, that might hold it a little bit better. So the center line hasn't changed, so we're good with that. So I'm going to clamp this in using my down feed here. I could see that. I'm going to center that so we don't drill through the V block. And then we're going to go and mount this. It doesn't have to be super accurate, but we're gonna drill those 3/4 of an inch from the end. So I'm just gonna grab my calipers and measure 750 thousandths, so approximate. We don't need a carbide scribe or the granite surface plate for this. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it. Okay. Just gonna set that in the V block, approximately on center, and I'm going to use this retainer to hold it in. I need to go find another washer. I'm just going to pause this for a moment. Okay guys, we're back. It's kind of rough when you get rusty washers brand new from Home Depot. I don't really think these are they're kind of thin. They don't look too sturdy. So I'm going to just double these up. I was able to pick up these blocks used. They're not perfect, but they're good for, they should be good for everyday usage. And they were a little bit rusty. I just went ahead and hit them on the brass wheel, and they cleaned up quite nicely. Although I probably should go ahead and chase all the threads. The threads are not difficult, but they're not easy. I should probably actually also be using a center drill for this operation, because we're on the rounds, we're not really on the flat. I do not have a center drill, so sorry about that. Won't be a good idea to move the table because the V block has a hole in the center. If I move the table, I'll be moving the V block as well. So here we go. Maybe I can actually use a starter bit. Let me see if I can find one. Hang on for one moment. Okay, we're back. I did find a starter bit, so I'm going to try that. I've swung you around to the other side. I hate to keep bumping the camera, with the handle, so that looks pretty good. Safety squints on. Squirt a little oil here. And as AVE would say, contact. Of course, we need to go to proper direction. I'm just getting the hole started because the chuck would be hitting that very shortly. Okay, that's one. Swing it around and drill the other one. Nice burr on that side. Okay, I feel like these washers are going to be annoying now. Maybe not. Okay, well, looks like we're in good shape there. Get our starter bit back in. Well, that was fun. Looks like I broke the tip right off of that. And sure enough, the tip is gone. Let us see if we can get it out with the other side. Oh, God. Always something. When it's almost 5 o'clock, that's when problems start. Okay, well that was a big negative, so we're just going to rotate this shaft a little bit. We'll just that should be fine. Don't forget, now this is only the prototype, so. Okay. Hopefully we'll have better luck with this hole. We do not need to be breaking any bits. I could have drilled a larger hole for this. It's cotter key, but go again. Don't know why this drill bit is slipping. I'm probably just not tightening it enough. It just happens to slip when you're exiting. Alright guys. We have the holes are finished. So we're going to go back to the workbench and we're going to show you the final, or at least the assembly, as it stands right now. Alright guys, we're back at the bench. Here is our finished prototype. Again, after building this, I put some thought into it. This is not really the way I want to do it going forward. But this is what I have right now available to me as far as materials. I actually ordered the materials to do the next version of this. And they won't be here. We have the weekend coming up. We have Saturday, Sunday. Monday is New Year's Eve. Tuesday is New Year's. Wednesday is back to work. So we have about 5 days where we won't be able to get the materials to do this job the way I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you where we're at right now. I'm going to make another one for the other side. And then I'm also going to go ahead and mount this back on the deck. I'll find some hardware to mount it back on. I took the deck apart. I stripped it down to, well, I actually didn't strip the paint down, but I actually stripped the deck down. I took the spindles off, the blades, I took the gearbox. I want to get the deck sandblasted and powder coated over the winter. But like I said, I need to clean up. We have a lot of stuff going on at the shop. I need the space, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to proceed and build the other half to this tomorrow. So so we can finish this project tomorrow. We need to finish it. So anyway, this is what we have. We have the shaft axle. What I did was I took the gas pipe and I cut it down or I turned it down so it fits inside this shaft. Obviously it was too large to go ahead and it was too large to have the shaft running through it just like that. That's just not the way I roll. So what I did was I made inserts. Again, I just like a whole bunch of different materials here. This is cast iron, I believe. These are aluminum. This is steel. But anyway, long story short, what's going on here is we're gonna take this and slide it through here. On our mower deck, I needed a 3-inch offset because that's just the way it works. I have got to put a 3-inch offset here for it to fit. So let me just take this here and just show you how it's going to all go. So I got to get some washers here for this, but for now, so this is going to go through our wheel, and then we have our offset, and now we have the part of the deck. And then we have our other wheel. And then of course we're going to put a washer. And then we're going to put our other cotter key, or whatever you call it. Cotter pin. I'm sorry you got my big fat hands in the way. But okay, we don't need the cotter pin to show you. So that's the way she's going to set. Just like that. So it should be fine. You know, there's not going to be any play here. It should roll nice. There's no, you know, it's not loosey. You know, we have a little back and forth here. I guess I can cut another washer there. Yeah, I'm sure I can make a spacer for that side because that's as tight as it's going to get. But there you have it. Like I said, it's our first version of this. I'm going to change it. I've already thought of some things how to make it better. But for now, it's what we have, what we got. And I'm going to make the other side, and then I'm going to show you guys how it all... Alright guys, we are back. We have the deck dolly, or whatever you like to call it, assembled, installed, and ready to go. I do need to put a couple washers in here, but I have it hooked up with a cotter pin. The main shaft, and then it goes through the actual, I guess, anti-scalping mount. There's a spacer here because these are a little bit long, but you see that I need to clear that part of the deck with the wheel. But there you have the whole thing, and she's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and jack this up, take it outside, and put it in the container for the winter. I did think of a lot of things that I could have done better with this, including obviously making this shaft shorter so this would tighten up here. Like I said, it's going to be version 2. I have a couple of better ideas for version 2 as far as making it one solid shaft instead of having all these pieces and bushings. But wait till I get the materials, and we'll go ahead and we're going to have, I guess, version 2. And we'll look forward to that on YouTube. I have a couple of other decks with the rectangular slotted anti-scalp mounts I'm going to make a couple of videos on those as well, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys like this, and it's something you could use for your own decks. If you give me a minute, I'm just going to go ahead and get this on the ground, and we'll show you the actual end result in action. Alright, there you have it. There is your completed deck, Dolly. The only thing that could have made it better is if I had the rims painted yellow, John Deere yellow, but it's just one finger, and we can push it around, roll it around. It's a lot better than trying to lift this thing up. It's I mean, the actual deck itself is fairly light at this moment because it's stripped down, but when it's got the gearbox and the spindles and the blades, everything, it's pretty heavy. So hopefully we can go ahead and get it to the sandblaster and get it painted, and we'll have one more project out of our hair. Okay guys, again, shoot me a like, subscribe if you want to see this kind of content. I'll be doing some more tractor accessory videos and such, and of course I'll be on my main focus of my machine shop stuff. So you guys, it's almost the new year, so happy new year to everybody. Hope you guys are having a great and safe holiday with your families, and go make something in your shop. Take care.